Won't you stop and take a little time out with me? Just take 5.
All right. Y'all know what it is. At take 5. Had to let my notes load a little bit in there. How we doing, gentlemen? Good morning.
Well, wonderful.
Good morning.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. We got a lot to get into, and initially couldn't get some topics, but there's actually a lot that we can discuss here. Few housekeeping things. Of course, it's at Take 5 Pod, episode 20, champs only. Make sure y'all follow us on all social media: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, and TikTok, if I didn't say that already. Gonna be coming out with daily content, and we do a few different things. Like we just got through doing our March Madness bracket challenge. Let me add Jacob in here since he's decided to join us. Good morning to you, sir. But like I was saying, we do a few different things, like our March Madness bracket challenge that we just did. I don't know what I just heard. And yeah, we have a winner. We do have a winner. All right, so that goes out to P-Fection's bracket. I don't know who that is. So
it was Jason. It was Jason.
Which Jason?
Jason Moncure.
Jason Moncure. Congratulations to him for winning that. Definitely was very tight, very close, but in the end, UConn, and that was enough to take out most of the other people that didn't have them. So congratulations to him. We have to get him on the show and see what it is.
Oh, dude. No, we can't get Jason.
I mean, those are the stipulations. So we'll see what that's about. That's y'all friends. So we'll see. But anywho, before we get into the show, I just need to ask y'all about the situation. So I think it was last week we talked about the fact that we got Drake, Kendrick Lamar, they're all beefing and whatnot. And we spoke on it a little bit, but now J. Cole got up on stage and apologized for his transgressions and then proceeded to delete the diss track that he put out on his little album that came out. I just wanted to know about your thoughts on that. Like, what happened there and how y'all feel about J. Cole.
That was pretty weak. Like, I get it, but like he had time to sit on it anyway. It's like he had time to like just not drop the album. So that was weak to me.
Yeah, if you're gonna drop a whole album, like I thought you should just stand on it. Deleting it right after I won't say it's weak. Like I feel like he just realized that it was dumb, but like I feel like he should have had to stand on that decision to drop a whole album. Like I don't know.
Well, the whole album was about the beef. It was that song on there.
Yeah, that 7-minute song, but still. He dropped the album. I felt like he dropped a surprise album because he just got this the week before. Like he wasn't planning that.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
Nah, it was thrown. Like, keep it up.
Did y'all all listen to it?
Yeah,
I did.
It was very tough. That's why I'm confused. He deleted it. Like, if it was trash and like it wasn't getting like any traction, like that's fair. Maybe like throw it away. But,
nah, that would be even worse. First and foremost, but secondly, it just was confusing. Some of the things he said, like he started trying Kendrick's bodies of work. You know what I'm saying? It's just like You don't do that. Like you can't do that. Like that doesn't really make any sense. Like you could try him, but like don't try out, the albums like that. That was kind of weird. I don't really understand, but hey, I'm not a part of the beef. I don't even know what they beefing over, so it is what it is. But let's go ahead and get into the show. Yeah, definitely, Stan. Let's get into this really quick. Let me make sure I have this right. All right, episode 20. First slide, of course, the biggest news of the week was OJ Simpson passing away at 76 due to cancer. Not here to, be joking around, trolling, whatnot. Most of us don't even really didn't watch him play for real because we were born in the 2000s. But we know him as a infamous pillar of the sport world, especially football. We know him as one of the great football players to play. So that was just some unfortunate news. Y'all got anything about that?
I'm good.
Like it's touchy, I don't.
Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't have to be.
I would say Like I feel like you went about it the right way. Like I feel like a lot of the stuff that I saw in like sports media this week was weird to me. Like people celebrating someone's death is odd. Like that's very weird, especially like when you have family and stuff like that who has to like grieve your death. So why would you get on ESPN and slander someone for 5 minutes right after you just hear they die? Like that's weird to me. But I used to just give condolences.
Yeah, just do a little tribute.
Yeah,
keep it moving. Don't really need to talk about it one way or the other.
But yeah. Shout out to OJ, and just to add, I don't know if y'all listen to it. It is what it is. I know Julian does at times, but that's that podcast with Cam and Mays. So funny. They used to have OJ get on there and talk football. That's he, to my knowledge, doesn't really get the platform to speak many other places. So like that's kind of mostly what I know him from, and he was good on there. They definitely were very sad about this news, and it was just interesting to hear him speak. And he's a human, so again, shout out to him. Rest in peace. Condolences to the family. Let's go. All right, into the show now. We got the Masters coming up. I mean, it is here. Started a couple days ago, of course. Got some of the golfers that are participants in it this year. Of course, we got the GOAT. Got Rory, Scheffler, the Shambo, some good players. Obviously, the best of the best are competing here. So Scheffler, Homa, and the Shambo share a lead at -6. Obviously, it's still going on now, so things could change, but they're at the top. Tiger Woods sets the Masters record with his 24th consecutive made cut. We know Tiger Woods battling some bodily issues, and it's tough on the 48-year-old man or what have you. So that was very good news to hear that he made that cut with a +1. Cut is 6 over, so he was well under. GOAT Woods has never missed a cut at a Masters as a professional. Okay. So like I told you, 24 straight. And he's 8 strokes behind Scheffler and them. No Diddy. Anything y'all on the Masters? What have y'all seen so far? Some players you guys are following. Talk to me.
I'm taking more color.
You're taking more account. See, like this is just uninformed decisions. Like, and we already know Jacob's track record with betting. So like, I
already bet on DeChambeau too. So
I mean, okay, that's a fair pick. But like Morikawa,
I don't think DeChambeau's gonna win.
He's been out of form. So like, yeah, okay, he's had some good rounds. Like this is what I was spewing some messages last night. Where like I think the same thing for Homa. Like he's gonna just sink back down to reality these next 2 days. So I expect it to be Scheffler and DeChambeau in the final round tomorrow. I mean, you can't. It's always one of those things. It's always the greats. Like, you can never count them out. So like, I'm not counting out a name like Tiger yet because he looks good. He's been playing decent. Yesterday, shot even par, which was a good round considering the average was like 3 over yesterday. I don't know. It's been super windy. I mean, we probably all felt it going outside, and it's been the same.
It was crazy windy.
Yeah. So the first 2 days were extremely tough. It should be a lot more calm today. Conditions should be near perfect. So we should start seeing some lower scores, but I think some people will start coming back down to reality when it's the weekend at Augusta. So.
I mean, shout out to Homer. I definitely had to tune into him yesterday, and hey, reality, like I don't know if that's like the way that boy is playing. Like, he's hitting that ball, so
I mean, there's something to say, like, playing that good with the Tiger crowds too. Like, is impressive. I mean, so.
I don't know. Like, sometimes when you feel good, you just feel good. Like, you have your swing in the right place. Like, it's just. I don't know. To your point, though, you know, DeChambeau, Scheffler, DeChambeau with that quick backswing, with that small backswing that he's got, is still able to launch the ball, you know, 400 yards. Like, he's a tough. He's very, very tough to deal with, especially when he's got that drive going. Shout out to Tiger as well. You know, we're definitely witnessing greatness yet again, hoping for the best as it comes to his body, what have you. But what we're seeing from Tiger is some old man ball. All right. So, you know, he may not hit it as long as, you know, everybody out there, what have you. But when you get around that green, that short game comes through. All right. So he's going to put it close. He's going to spin that ball right next to the cup. He's doing what Tiger does. His hands are still there, they keep saying, and that's proven to be evidence. So I'm going to tune into him today. I think that's 12-5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm definitely going to be watching that. Other guys we got to see. I'm a Rory fan. I like McIlroy. You know, obviously his Masters have been tough, but you know, beautiful swing.
Not his weekend.
Yeah, you know, beautiful swing. The drive's been, you know, hey, but hoping he could dial it in, see what he can do. But yeah, anything on the Masters? And are you guys watching?
You shouldn't bet it
to the Masters. Like, what's wrong with you? Tune in. Tune in.
Yeah, that's not a Philly like sport. Like, I'm straight on that. Y'all can keep that down here.
Man,
I feel like you shouldn't bet against Scheffler. Like, he's just so dominant. Like, if I ever put my money on golf for the last 2 years, I've been putting my money on Scheffler every time, pretty much. So
that's green.
Usually,
no.
Honestly,
well, it's not.
Yes, it is. Not to win the tournament, but like I'm saying, on specific bets, that's what I've been betting.
Yeah, that is true.
He's green, like very.
In regards to the tournament, like it always comes down to if he can putt well or not. That's his biggest flaw. We're seeing like Tiger level ball striking from him. So like, if he can putt even just average, then he's pretty much the favorite to win any tournament that he shows up to. So
it's green. I'm telling you.
My last point.
Look at Ludwig Aubert to make a big charge.
He was playing good yesterday.
Leading the field in putting this week, striking the ball off the approach shots, amazing. So like, I look for him in his first go at the Masters to creep his way back up the leaderboard. He's 4 shots behind, so should be a good one today.
We shall see. Last point I'll make is, Miles and I, we golf on occasion. Y'all three are still childish. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all got to get with the program on that. But I don't watch golf year round. I'm not that type of person. You see the best of the best collectively gathered. It shows you the gap between a mid golfer and the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you realize how difficult the game can be. All right. So I'm watching, the gala. All right. So he had one. I believe he hit a great second shot, went onto the green, but it spun back, the steep lip of it. All right. So my boy he had to chip it back up. It had to be perfectly placed in order to get next to the cup, or it's going to come back. I believe he hit 2 more shots that just went up, came back down right next to his feet. And it's just those shots like that make you want to break your clubs. And it's just like, you feel better about yourself that, if a professional is going to do that sometimes, make those types of mistakes. Like, I don't put that type of work in. So it's just like, hey, it happens. It happens to the best of us. At Take 5 Pot. All right, so let's get into some other sports where you swing sticks, no diddy. We have Shohei Ohtani, so a little news development regarding his buddy, I guess his friend now that we're talking about. What happened to my notes? All right, so here, this is what I have here. So Shohei Ohtani, his translator, Ippei Mitsuhara, turns himself in after allegedly stealing $16 million to feed his sport betting addiction. He's a step up from Jacob. He was released on a $25,000 bond and required to surrender his passport. Also ordered to receive gambling addiction treatment as part of the conditions of his release. So he made unauthorized transfers from Ohtani's bank account for about 3 years, even attempting to impersonate the athlete. So if he is convicted, he can face up to 30 years in prison. And now Shohei, the baseball player, is no longer a suspect in this case. Reactions from the news development. What y'all got on Shohei and Mitsuhara?
That man is just so stupid. Like, how did he think he could get away with stealing $16 million?
Yeah, he bet 180 million too. Like, that's the crazy part.
He's 40 mil in the hole. Like,
that's just so crazy.
I don't know.
I mean, thievery. That's just
an addiction. Like,
that's addiction at its finest right there.
Again, I tried to talk to you guys. We talked about Jonte Porter, who I should have added to this slide because in his development, Adam Silver had to go to the podium and he said that he committed a cardinal sin and is most likely going to be banished from the National Basketball Association. This gambling thing, all right, it's dangerous. It can be dangerous. You have to know your limits. You have to know who you are. And you have to limit yourself because these things will happen again and again and again. Y'all go ahead. Let me see what's up with my
One thing I'll say is I don't think that Shohei was like betting at all. Like, I know there's a lot of conspiracies like saying that he was placing some of the bets. I just feel like he has too much honor. Like,
you just know him too well. He would never do that.
Yeah, like he would never cheat. I'm so serious. Like, I don't think he would do that.
Why?
I don't know him.
Yeah, you're acting like you know him, bro.
He just made $700 million. Why does he need to try and make an extra?
A lot of people don't need to bet.
Yeah,
dude, that's totally different though. He's gonna be a billionaire by the end of his career.
Bro, think about the dude
who
keeps betting like $1 million on the Astros to win the World Series.
Talking about mattress Mac.
Mattress Mac. Yeah.
Dude, he's nowhere near what Shohei is going to be.
Are
Especially
you crazy?
Mattress Mac is extremely rich, like 100
Dude.
millionaire. Like, yeah,
dude.
Yes.
Shohei is gonna, dude. By the end of Shohei's career, he might like gross like $3 billion probably, like from endorsements to his contracts. Like he's probably gonna have 2 or 3 contracts.
I'm not saying he's not rich. I'm just saying like it's weird to say like I don't think he would bet. Like,
I just feel like he's just making way too much money. Like there's a lot of money, and then there's.
But if you're that rich, then betting $1 million is nothing, and it's just fun.
Yeah, that's fair, but I feel like gaining that $1 million is nothing too.
It's like when you go to Vegas and you see like the NFL players and all them go to Vegas and they just cash out like in a crazy way, like they spend crazy amounts of money, and you're like, ooh, like that'd be like you saying they don't want to bet. They're super rich too, like, but they go and bet big, huge in the casinos, huge.
Yeah.
So let me understand this though. So y'all still believe that Shohei in?
I'm not even saying that.
That's not what we were saying. But like Ian just randomly said that he thought Shohei was too honorable to ever bet.
Dude, I mean, he didn't like the game of baseball too much. Like,
you don't know him. You don't even know him,
dude. But he's been at this baseball thing for a minute. Like, I've researched like Shohei. Like, he's been at this thing since he was like 11. He's been trying to be in the MLB. Dude,
every player who plays baseball professionally has played baseball since they were a kid, probably.
So, yeah, but he was in Japan. Dude, he was dreaming about playing in the MLB. Like the biggest.
The Japanese players dream about playing in the MLB,
but not all of them make it though. This is what I'm saying. Like
he's good. He's very good.
Yes, I'm saying why would he risk this dream that he had?
And dude, this is what a lot of players in a lot of sports are doing right now.
Everyone, all of these players had dreams to go play pro, like whatever sport they play, and not a lot of them, but some of them have risked it to bet.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to risk it, dude. Those people are not making the contracts that he had. Like that's
saying nobody needs to.
They don't need to bet. Yeah, they don't need to bet.
You know, Michael Jordan didn't need to be a gambler. It was like
he wasn't. Like,
he just he liked to do it.
Competitiveness coming out, like
that's the point. Like,
I don't know.
People bet for the thrill, bro. Like I don't know if I don't think he's doing it for money. Like I'm not even saying Shohei bet, but I would say most people don't do it for the money specifically. I think it's for the thrill and the money. Like it's both.
Okay.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting development. I just don't know for Mitsuhara. I don't really know what goes into that though. Like when I read that he started impersonating Shohei, like
that's not good. Yeah,
that's just like you think he combed his hair to the side, like maybe.
I was thinking, they probably mean. I thought they probably mean voice wise, right?
I mean,
it's probably not very hard in America because everybody thinks they look the same.
Man, come on, man. The picture's right there. Like you gotta be able to know. Like,
I'm saying there's a lot of racist people in America that
I'd take 5 and keep it going if y'all don't have any more points regarding the subject. Let's get into the nitty gritty here.
I told you.
We had some champions. What now?
I told y'all.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I thought you told us about Auburn. In the
I did that too.
Yeah, anywho. Got a lot to throw regarding the NCAA. Obviously, we have our champions in both the men's and women's basketball tournaments. So the University of South Carolina, they take down Caitlin Clark in Iowa, 87-75. Let me just add in there that their TV ratings were better than the men's tournament, and they're better than some NBA games, like, on TNT, what have you. So, shout out to the women's game. This marks Dawn Staley's 3rd championship as a head coach, right? Putting her in rarefied air among her peers. We're going to talk a little bit about Dawn Staley. later. I got some questions about her. But some reactions to this game. What'd you see out there? What'd you like? What'd you dislike? Talking about women's basketball.
What's her name? Definitely got her get back for getting waved off because she was locking. I mean, Caitlin Clark had like 30, but she was locked up.
She was slowed down. Yeah,
You're
she
right.
definitely slowed her down.
She got strapped. By her personally, that was a strap. Like it was.
She played well. Yeah, she played pretty good defense on her for the most part. I feel like. Yeah, she wasn't comfortable at all.
Now after the first quarter, I was texting you in the first quarter. Like I didn't think that was going to continue. Like she made two tough threes, which like she makes tough threes, but like she also got fouled 2 times on jump shots. Like that's not happening all game. So I didn't think that was going to continue. And I thought South Carolina was going to roll from there even after they were down, just because the size advantage was major. Like Cardosa didn't even play that well, in my opinion. Like she smoked a lot of layups and stuff, but like she still was dominant and with not her best effort, I would say.
Yeah.
And then those other girls like Britt and Ashlyn Watkins, just like all dogs on the glass. So it was too much for Iowa.
Yeah, I felt like South Carolina played pretty well on Caitlin. I felt like Caitlin definitely got like the passes off that she wanted and gave her teammates some looks, but they just weren't good enough. But I felt like South Carolina played a lot better as a team. Definitely a lot better on the boards. But yeah, I think it definitely came down to just Cardosa on the boards, just eating them up.
Yeah, I disagree with Julian in the fact that, I mean, he said she had a good. I don't know what you said.
I said she was dominant without her best effort. She was still dominant, but it wasn't her best effort. Like she traveled. She got called for like 3 travels in the first half. Got blocked by Stokey. Like she wasn't scoring in the post on Stokey really. Like she ate offensive glass only, and she usually is a beast in the post. Like she can.
She's a top draft pick, so obviously we've seen her play better games. But like, when we talk about do or die, win or go home, she played a great game, an excellent game. I have here, so obviously Julian also touched on South Carolina being the bigger team. They executed better, in my opinion. And they shot better from the field, shot better from 3, had more assists, more blocks, of course. The rebounding discrepancy was 51-29.
Jeez.
All right. So they had 18 offensive rebounds that game. You're not gonna win that game in that way. Iowa did their damage early. They actually went up. They went up 11 in this game. This notion that Caitlin Clark got locked. Make sure you say in a half of basketball.
3 quarters.
This is no.
It's 5 of 20.
Make sure. Excuse me. Make sure you say
5
in a
of
half
20. What are we going to consider getting?
It was
locked?
definitely more than a half.
If you're talking about locked from a scoring perspective, that's fair. But she was definitely getting the looks for her teammates and at times look for herself. But the shots didn't fall. Like that's cool. What are you?
Why are we moving the goalposts for her? Because if someone else, let's take it to NBA. If someone else played a 5 of 20 3-quarter game of basketball, we would say they got locked up, right? Or would they stunk it up?
It's just wild that I can't finish. Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead,
Morgan.
Can I finish? Like I purposefully let y'all speak so I can get into it.
All right, go.
You know what I'm saying? Like I let y'all speak so I can get into it. Anywho, this is a national championship game that we're talking about here. I say make sure you say in the half of basketball. All right. Will you put up 18 points in a quarter? The most in a national basketball championship quarter? I struggle personally to hear about any type of loss. You got dropped off at that point. Okay. That's just It's my opinion. Now, she finished with 38 and 5, 10 of 28 shooting. In my eyes, this is what I saw. I know y'all saw something different. As the game went on, especially middle of the third, the difference in the squad showed. We got 3 girls on Iowa playing 40 minutes. They got no type of breathers unless it was a timeout. South Carolina played 9 girls. Iowa played 6. All right. I saw a lot of fatigue out there. We're talking about a jump shooting team. Jump shots didn't go. Caitlin Clark, in my eyes, she's a turnover player. She has the ball in her hands the entire time. Raven Johnson has some nice steals on her, and she did an excellent job with her in the second half. This thing about locks, though, I can't sit here and say that she locked her up. No, I definitely can't say that. Shots just didn't fall.
She played well on her, though.
I mean, you said it yourself.
I said that.
Yeah.
But after one quarter, she had 18. And then I would love to see where her field goal percentage was after that.
Bro,
she was 10 of 28.
I'm going to pull up they broke it down right after the game. What day was that?
This was Sunday. Maybe.
Do I have this picture?
Yeah, it was Sunday. Yeah.
7th.
Yeah, it definitely was Sunday.
I sent it in the group chat. Sunday, okay. Oh no, this is just Raven Johnson. Raven Johnson on Caitlin Clark was 7 points, 3 of 11 shootings. That's 27%, and she stole the ball 4 times from her. So I don't understand. Like, I don't get what we need. Like, what did she need to do to say that she locked her up? Like, what did she
play all 4 quarters? In my opinion,
bro, it wasn't number one. Those points obviously weren't on her because she got 7 and Caitlin had 18 in the first quarter, right? So those points obviously weren't on her. Correct. Like, that would just make sense. And I told you she got fouled 2 times on jump shot. Like, that was a fluky quarter. Like, she's great, obviously, but like, you're not getting fouled 2 times on 3-point jump shots in a quarter. That never happens. That does not happen.
What? It doesn't?
No, that does not happen.
When you're launching threes from space,
bro.
that doesn't happen.
Why are y'all acting like that's normal? Like,
we can stop
like that's normal. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah, that is normal. Like, you were good until that point.
But Caitlin isn't normal.
That's not normal.
Gets fouled like twice a quarter on jump shots.
Yeah, people don't get fouled 2 times on 3-point jump shots in a quarter. That does not happen. It doesn't.
Okay.
You're a basketball fan. Like, I don't get why you're.
And I've seen that multiple times. Like, we're talking about a girl that she probably shot like 13 threes.
It's an anomaly. I'm saying to get fouled 2 times, even on a jump shot in a quarter, that's an anomaly. Much less 2 3-point jump shots. That's like probably 1 in 100 times. 1 in probably more than 100.
Yeah, probably more than that.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're acting.
Keep going.
I mean, I think he's done after that, but I don't.
Yeah, I am done after that. I just read you the stats, and y'all are saying she didn't lock her up, so she can't get locked up. Then
that wasn't your initial statement. You said she was locked up the entire game, and then you changed.
I said she was locked up 3 quarters. That's not true. I said she got locked up the 2nd through the 4th.
I mean, yeah, you just said that earlier. But
she shot. I'm pretty sure it was 5 of 20 after that, and she got the ball took from her 4 times by one girl.
Okay,
I don't understand what you need to do to lock someone up.
Well,
that's not locking you up.
We were watching the game, right? We were watching Caitlin get her teammates open, and they weren't making it, right? That's true.
Like I told Morgan after the game, blaming the teammates is lame. That's just lame to me in a cop out. If you shoot 5 of 20, if you yourself shoot 5 of 20 and get the ball taken from you 4 times, blaming the teammates for the loss is weird to me. Like, that's very odd.
Listen, bro, I never took it there. And no, I don't know what that's Ian talking. But for me, are we going to sit here and say that Caitlin Clark didn't get looks that she wanted in that second half?
She definitely did.
Okay, those types of looks don't go. I go to fatigue. This is a girl that's played 40 minutes in multiple rounds.
Energy. I want you to keep the same energy because
it's a girl that's played 40 minutes.
Listen,
the entire game in multiple rounds. Against listen to me. Multiple games, 40 minutes, multiple rounds of basketball. She has the ball in her hands all night, and she is a jump shooter. This is the type of thing that happens. Like I can't sit here and say that she didn't get the looks that she desired just because that girl was on her. Yes,
sound
she
like
stole
me.
the ball.
You know,
but I don't believe that take. No, I don't.
You know what's funny? Because we've had this exact conversation in the opposite way though. Because I remember Kawhi choked in Game 7, right?
I knew it was going to be Kawhi.
He choked in Game 7 versus
a professional.
Listen, versus the don't move the goalpost. Don't do that. We're talking
Move the
let's talk about
goalpost.
Kawhi.
Caitlin Clark's Kawhi.
Basketball is basketball. Bro.
Is he serious right now?
What do you mean? Am I serious right now? Kawhi,
Morgan, basketball is basketball.
Yeah,
Oh,
nobody's comparing the two as players. Like,
really? I told you Kawhi in Game 7. You said that Kawhi choked, right? Right? Is that? I'm asking. Let's break it down, Morgan. Look up. Don't switch up now. Did Kawhi choke in Game 7? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
He did.
Did Kawhi get the shots that he usually makes in Game 7? Did he get good looks and they didn't go? Which is what you just said about Caitlin, right?
Did I say he got locked?
What?
Yeah.
So she choked then.
Yeah, that's a fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, okay, she choked.
Yeah, yes.
I haven't heard that until I haven't heard that Caitlin. Okay, wait. I don't think that she choked. I haven't heard that Caitlin Clark got choked until now. This is the first time that I've heard, like, literally, sports media, newspapers, online. I have not heard that Caitlin choked until now. Y'all the first to say that. Okay, y'all said that. Headline: Morgan and Ian take V-Pod. Caitlin Clark choked versus South Carolina.
Julian, did we not say she got open shots and she just missed them? Did we not say that? We say that 100 times.
I don't think that. I'm not going to say that.
He didn't get open shots.
Choking.
Caitlin Clark didn't get open threes.
Not when what's her name was guarding her.
She got like a few looks. She got a few good looks.
She could barely dribble up the court without getting the ball taken.
That's awful. That's just awful.
If you get the ball taken 4 times, that's a lot. But I'm just saying she couldn't dribble up the court is not true.
She had the ball.
She did get the ball taken from her a lot of times. That's also true.
She would sit there with her back turned to the defender, doing her little LeBron thing, and she would just get poked.
I mean,
is that a lot?
This is weird. Like, you can say she got locked, but me and Morgan, like, I feel like she was just fatigued and she choked.
I don't think she got all of the shots that she typically gets. That's not true.
Okay, but
they defended her very well. So. And it's 2 games in a row, though. Like, the girl from UConn defended her very well, too.
Yeah.
Very well.
She did.
She had 20 points or something like that. I guess.
Yeah, she did. No.
I didn't think she led her team in scoring.
Johnson didn't do a good job. I'm just saying this notion of locked, this notion of clamps.
You're saying that nobody can lock her, basically.
No, not in the college sport. No, I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I
that's just weird. That's crazy.
I thought the girl. I thought Nika. But I thought the girl Nika on UConn did very well 1-on-1. Like that was. I
don't disagree. That's all you can do. You can just put a hand up and pray. That's all. Yeah, that's all you can do.
I guess, and some players can't get locked in. It's your point, but that's the difference in what we're saying. Like if you're going there, then that's fine. But we're not saying that.
You don't agree in that?
No,
that's a weird statement. I don't agree with that either.
So Kobe and Mike, they can get locked.
No, don't do that.
What are we talking about?
Okay, how about this? Can Kawhi get locked?
Yes.
Still don't do that. But
you just compare.
So we only compare when it benefits us, I guess.
Like, no. I compared.
Kawhi got locked.
Yeah.
Like
what?
I asked you.
Basketball player can get locked. I don't understand.
I mean, players can get locked on possessions, of course, but Caitlin Clark is a little different than some of the players that you just listed out because of the way that she plays the game. Like Caitlin Clark firebombs threes. Like she shoots a lot of deep threes, yes. And she also can only drive to her right. Like she has no drive to her left game. She has to pull up to her left, and she can't pull up to her right. So like there is a way to slow her, and we saw it in the last 2 games. They slowed her. They did.
Yeah, that's not locking. Like
I guess I'm saying that's where we're going to disagree
because
that's where we're disagreeing.
Opinion, when you are the best of the best, it doesn't matter what level, it doesn't matter men or women that we're talking about. You just have to do the best you can. You have to slow them. There's no such thing as locks, in my opinion.
KD got
because,
locked up.
Listen to me for a second. Just listen to me for a second. Because we've seen in multiple instances, we can pull up game tape from any game. We can pull up game tape for her scoring 40 with the same contest that she saw in the national championship game. Yes, you can. And some of those shots went in. We're talking about a girl that makes fadeaway threes, Julian, from the hash. So it's just like put a hand up and pray. That's all you can do.
This is a new level of athleticism that she's playing against in South Carolina.
It was not the same. There's a stark drop off. We saw, just take from the Elite Eight to Final Four. We saw the difference in shots that she was getting versus Haley Van Lith. Then when she went to go play Nika at UConn, it was two completely different things that we were watching. When she played versus Haley Van Lith, they were going under on screens. She was stepping back, no hand in her face. She's playing versus South Carolina. The hand is in her face, like literally in her face, like face guarding.
Did she ever have a hand in her face during LSU?
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Go look back at the tape, bro. Very rarely. Like, of course,
bro, it would be like a hand up, but it's not really a hand up.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
What?
Morgan, are you comparing the defense that was played in
no,
the last
I am
two
not.
games to the defense
I
that
am
was played
simply
in LSU?
saying
They played
she
terrible.
got looks that she desired, and the ball did not go into the cup. Raven Johnson did a very good job. She did. But this notion of locks, I do not believe. I'm sorry, I can't take it that far. I simply cannot. And that's where we're just going to have to disagree.
So
do we have any other points?
When we clip it, I just want to make sure that we clip the fact that y'all said that she choked, because that's truly the first time I've heard that. Okay.
But we've mentioned it. We've mentioned and we like inferred it multiple times. Like we said that.
Oh, you doubled down.
I didn't know that.
But wait, Julian. But before you try and boil it down to a choke, you know what I'm saying? Have we seen Caitlin Clark play better? Absolutely. But we can't take anything away from the South Carolina team and what they did, though, because that's what I started my argument with. They were the bigger and better team. It played more efficiently. They executed better when it came down to it, and they out-rebounded them tremendously. And that was the difference in the game. We could talk about Caitlin Clark for minutes upon minutes, but that's why the game was won. Like let's make sure that's the bottom line.
I agree with you, but I agree with you on both ends. I don't want to take away what they did on the defensive end as well. I don't think that it's just Caitlin Clark didn't play well. They limited her greatly.
We said that. We said they played
good
well.
job. Like I don't know how else to say that without the only thing I'm refuting is this notion of locks, clamps, ball and chain. You know what I'm saying? White and black stripes over her to where she couldn't move or do anything on the. That's not what happened.
That's obviously strange, but I don't know. Obviously, I would say a lot of great players when they have poor games, we say they got locked up. So KD, Ian especially when KD played versus the Celtics when he was on the Nets, Ian was saying that he got locked up. That's a quote. That's a quote.
KD. I'm confused. When did he get locked up? When did they even
he
play?
played versus the Celtics? When he played versus the Celtics and Kyrie was there on the Nets, it was them two, right?
That is totally different. He never scored almost 40 points. Like we remember that series.
That's not true, but
that is true.
Did you say in the playoffs that Trae Young got locked up for 4 games straight?
Yeah, for sure. It's all relative. It definitely is all.
The goalpost always moves. That's what I'm saying.
It immediately moves.
Trae Young had 18 turnovers. He had more turnovers than he had made shots. That is locks.
That's in a full series.
Oh, here we go.
But it's a move on.
We can move on, but we're really about to have the same type of discussion here. All right, we're gonna have the same discussion here.
Not even.
So let's talk about the men's game. All right, UConn versus Purdue. It's been described by ESPN as a basketball beatdown, a coaching clinic, a double-digit domination. All right. So UConn, they're efficient on offense, but won this game on defense. The Huskies, 37-3 through the year, limited the country's second-best shooting team to a mere 7 shots behind the arc and only a single make, while allowing 7'4" AP Player of the Year Zach Edey to go for 37 points on 25 shot attempts. All right. So what was y'all's reaction from seeing this game, UConn versus Purdue?
I have 2 points. First of all, this is the most dominant championship I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've never seen something like this. They were winning every single game by 20 plus, and it was almost like not even fun to watch. Actually, that's a lie. It was really fun to watch because it's just such a beautifully built basketball team. It was perfect basketball. But my second point is Edey is really trash and is not built for the league and will have no success in the National Basketball Association.
I agree with the last one. He's not a pro. I don't think he's a pro. At least like a more than 10-minute pro. You know, like he can come in for a few minutes maybe to score late. Like if they need a bucket late, like I may put him in, or like you need a tip in, you may put him in just to like utilize that size. But I just don't see him like, I don't know, translating or adjusting to the NBA game very well. Like number one, I don't think that he'll be able to like get better athletically, like just because of how big he is. Like he's such a big guy. Like it's, you know, what are we going to ask him to get better at? Like he's a great post player, but in terms of his movement, especially laterally, like there's only so much you can do while being that big. So yeah, I don't think he'll be that good of a pro.
Yeah, I could see him being like a Zubac.
That's even too far.
That is
Zubac be switching out. Like if he switched out, like
yeah, you're right. That was too far.
I honestly had no idea y'all were gonna take it this far with this. Like I knew it was coming, but I had no idea y'all were gonna be this drastic. But Ian, do you have anything on the subject?
I don't think that's drastic.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him play that much. I probably seen like 2 or 3 games of his, but I mean, I feel like he like they're probably right, but I feel like maybe like a Boban, like a guy that he can like add some, like maybe just rebounding. Like in the NBA, I feel like you don't really have to be an elite player to be good. You just have to be good in your role. Like if a coach can put him in a role where he can succeed, like he could do something for a team and help him win.
That's what I'm saying. I think he'll make a roster because he's so big. Like there's a spot for him there, but I just don't see him being able to play very much. Number one, the game's so fast, and then two, like imagine everyone switches screens with NBA. Like you can't play the drop, or you can, but it's dumb to play the drop coverage that he has to play. Like he played that versus UConn, and I think that's a big part of why they actually lost this game. They were killing them in the pick and roll.
That's insane.
What?
The big part of why they lost this game?
Keep going.
I'm at what part are you
I
talking
want
about?
you to finish your point before I go.
Anyways, I would say a big part of why they lost the game was because the drop coverage that he had to play all night. I think they started killing that. Or if you go back and look at the game, they started killing them in the pick and roll with Edey and drop, killing that. Cam Spencer, he was killing it. The other dude, what's his dude's from Georgia's name? The point guard, really good defender. I don't know. I can't remember his name right now, but they were killing
Stefan Castle.
Castle. Yeah, they were killing that literally. So I think that was a huge part of why they lost the game. So go ahead and address whatever you're talking about, Morgan.
There's a lot to address here. Y'all made several points. One, I guess I'll go off script with this notion that he can't be a good pro. And Jacob said Zubac. Zubac is a starting center in the
No,
NBA.
yeah, that was a bad take. I'd take that take back.
Oh, you're dialing that back.
I immediately
We said too far. Like
that's too far.
Like a Boban. Boban's close.
That's way too far. He switches. Zubac switches on screen. Like we saw Luka. He switched out on Luka in the playoffs consistently.
Okay,
that would never happen.
Okay, so Boban is what we're saying.
I'm not even saying that, but yeah, maybe
worse than Boban, Drew.
He won't be worse than Boban necessarily, but it's like similar in terms of athleticism. Like he's a better, obviously, than Boban offensively. Like, he's a great post player, but like, come on, bro. Like that defense will get wrecked in the NBA.
He's about to be playing Wembanyama and like Joel.
I don't even think it's the big man factor in it. Like the guards, like the guards in the NBA compared to the guards in college are crazy.
Yeah.
Like the drop off is insane. Like he couldn't do anything with it.
Okay, then a couple things with that. This notion that he can't improve athletically. We're talking about the National Basketball Association.
No, I'm saying
listen to what I'm saying, because again, Ian, you let him talk. Like, so I need you to let me make my points really quick. This notion that he can't improve athletically, he's going to the National Basketball Association. He's going with some of the best trainers, best sport doctors, what have you. He's going to get better and improve athletically. That's going to happen. He's going to be able to run faster. He's going to be able to jump higher. He's going to be stronger and more physical. Yes. What would you like to say,
Morgan? That's true for guys who are coming out like extremely raw. Like I would agree with you. Like a Joel Embiid who played a year, or like I don't know, a Wembanyama, like he's gonna grow a lot. Even KD, he left after a year. That's true. Like those guys are gonna grow and get stronger. Zach Edey he's a grown man, bro. Like Zach Edey has played college basketball. He's been in college strength and conditioning programs for years now. He's a senior. I'm telling you, the difference is going to be marginal. Like, yes, he'll improve as an athlete. That will happen. Similarly to like Luka Garza.
I was about to say Luka Garza. Wow.
Yeah,
you took the words right out of my mouth.
Think about Luka Garza. He doesn't play. And Luka Garza.
Yes, he does. He plays now. Yes,
How many minutes does he play a game?
He plays a lot more on the team that he's on. He played a lot more on the Timberwolves this year when Karl Anthony Towns went down and he was getting buckets. Actually, he was actually a pretty good player.
I did hear that he was actually finding.
I saw him play, but I'm saying like when I'm saying you're not playing, he's not going to be like a starter, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said Zach Edey will not get more than 10 minutes per game in the league. I don't think that he can. They'll play him off the court, literally.
But again, we also have to be careful because Luka Garza, that's a separate matter because he's not 7'4". But over time, these are still young men that we're talking about. Over time, they can develop and be powerful assets to a team just depending on the situation. So I just want to just be careful about that. But this, again, the notion about athletically, it's a 7'4" big man. All right. So what exactly do we need him to do? Guard big men, be big, play big, defend the rim. So again, my thing is we always wonder who's going to stop Jokic, who's going to stop Embiid, who's going to do these different things when the NBA plays 6'10s, 6'9s against these guys. I'm not saying that he's going to be locks or going to be able to compete with them. All I'm saying is a lot of teams need big bodies, at least to match up and get some fouls, make it at least a little bit of a different look for these guys. That's why when you talk about an Edey, I'm sitting here saying if he can improve himself defensively, he'll have a spot. He'll be able to make millions.
He'll have a spot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But this thing about Zubac, for instance, he can be a Zubac. He can.
No, he can't.
I don't think so.
And this, I don't understand why you're saying
how versatile
he can't improve athletically. I disagree with that. That's all I'm saying about it.
Okay, every athlete has like a top end that they can get to. Like if you maximize Zubac, like there's a top, right? He's probably maximized right now. Zach Edey will go to the league and probably get maximized in terms of like his athletic ability. I don't think his top end athleticism is high enough to play like a lot of minutes in the NBA. Like he's too big. Like that guy's too big and slow. Like he's like a giant. He moves like a giant on the court.
Yeah,
like
he does.
if you put him, let's take, for example, we'll take the Mavericks, for example, because we're using Zubac and it's in my mind fresh, like Zubac switching out on Luka throughout the whole playoff series. If you put him against the Mavericks right now, I'm talking about Zach Edey, imagine what they will do to him. Like Kyrie and Luka are gonna say, come here every play. And are you gonna play them and drop? Like, are you gonna play Kyrie and drop? Like you're fried. Like you're gonna get 50 on you. You're gonna get 50 on you.
I can't imagine Kyrie being guarded by him. That would be so.
What does Brook Lopez do?
Brook Lopez also moves laterally, and he switches out sometimes too. But yeah, he does play some drop coverage. But it's still
He plays a lot of drop coverage. He's the king of drop coverage. And he's a very, very big body, even bigger than an Edie.
Bro, he is an elite center.
He moves way better than Zach
because
Edey does.
he plays defense and he learned how to shoot the three.
Absolutely.
All I'm saying is if he gets half of that part, which is the defensive end, being able to protect the basket with his wingspan
he's huge working. Like that's like his greatest strength is also a weakness in that aspect. Like,
do you think he'd be the biggest in the NBA physically?
Second, first.
No, he wouldn't. He would be close weight wise. No, he would not.
I'm not even talking about weight. I'm talking about his height. He's huge. That guy's 7'4". He's huge.
Which means he can protect the basket if he learns the defensive concepts of playing.
But there's two 7'4" guys who can play in the league for a reason, like, and they don't even get minutes. Who's over 7'4" right now? I'm pretty sure it's what's his face, Boban that we're just talking about, and Taco Fall. He's out of the league, isn't he?
And Wembanyama.
Neither of them are in the league.
And Wemby. So
neither.
And we know about
like
Wemby.
You're getting played out of the league.
Yeah, even Bol doesn't get that many minutes.
Yeah,
he's not that big though. Like he's not that big. Like
Zach
Edey is huge. Like Donovan Clingan is 7'1", and he's noticeably bigger than Clingan. Like noticeably.
I mean, yeah.
All these same conversations can be had for Clingan too.
Well, anywho, I'll boil this point down to this because we're gonna take a lot of time. If he wants to play, he will get into that gym. He will get himself into shape. He will watch film and learn how he can impact the game defensively when it comes to protecting the rim and the basket. You will learn how to keep players in front and off of their spots in post position. And he could be a very useful asset on a team. We forgot about Rudy Gobert too. Rudy Gobert is pretty huge too. But I think he can. But let's talk about the game really quick. Let's go back to the game. Shout out to Coach Hurley.
He's good, man.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he definitely is very good. What did you say in that Zach Edey's drop coverage was the reason they lost the game?
I said I'm talking about on the defensive end. That was a big part in why they lost the game.
Yeah, that's very dumb.
Absolutely.
But anywho, I just want to talk about the game plans that we have here. So the game plan, and shout out to Donovan Clingan as well. He stayed in front of Edey the entire night for the most part. Got some fouls, but for the most part, he took that matchup. This was kind of similar to the Caitlin Clark thing. Edey was well established in the first half, 11 straight points, mostly one-on-one coverage. I don't think Purdue realized they were playing right into Hurley's hand with this. All right, you don't win a championship with just one guy going berserk. That's not how this thing works. It's a team sport, 5-on-5, what have you. Edey would have had to 37. That would have had to be maybe 50.
Yeah, I mean, he had like 11 straight and was down 2 at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, so again, they fed him well. Edey, in my opinion, he played a good game. But that's what they wanted. You know what I mean? Like they wanted him to kill him from the inside, go for 2s instead of them hitting the 3s. I mean, they went 1 for 7 for 3. That's absolutely unacceptable when you have the personnel that Purdue has. I believe they could have done more to get some open looks, but they fed Edey. No, they definitely fed Edey. I feel like this is another case where the bigger and better team won. You got to shout out UConn's execution and how they played. But the difference in this game was another rebounding discrepancy. Now, every time I see a game and I see who won, I have to look at the rebound discrepancy. But when we watched the game, we could see it happening. UConn's guards, their wingspans were bigger. They were taller. They were more physical, more athletic than, I apologize, but the white guys that Purdue, rolled out there to shoot a bunch of threes. If they're not making threes, they're in jeopardy. That was the difference in this game, in my opinion. Shout out to Klingon for doing his job against Edey, because that made a difference as well. Like, again, we're not talking about him having 50. We're talking about him having 37. A lot of those points being when they're already, they're already up, like 13, 15 points.
He did very good on him. At one point, like, there was a stretch in the game, I think he missed like 8 straight field goals or 9 straight field goals.
Yeah,
like,
he looks terrible.
And that was it. Like, after that stretch, that game was over.
Yeah, he looks really bad.
My problem with it is I don't think you should ever have a stretch like that where, okay, you put it in a couple more times, pause. You throw it in the Edey a couple more times. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he missed a couple shots in a row. You have to be looking to get some of the other guys involved, some of the guys that got you there. It wasn't just, especially throughout the tournament, it wasn't just Edey and the Pips. You know what I mean? It was inside, outside game. You feel me? Like, they were shooting very great from 3 in those games that they won. You have to be able to get other guys involved. I just think they did a poor job in doing that. So, in my eyes, it was a lack of 3-point attempts. You have to shoot them in order to make them. I mean, they were guarding. There are many ways you could get some looks, is all I'm saying to that point. Yes, UConn did a great job defensively. They stayed on their mans and they played one-on-one coverage on the inside. I'm still saying there are ways that you can get shots for your other players and makers. And secondly, the glass. You got to win the battle on the boards to win a basketball game. You have to, in my opinion. If you don't make the threes, which they didn't do, and you also don't rebound, that's when we see these 15-point victories. This is where, that's where it happens. So that's what it boils down to for me. Anything else on this subject?
I understand what you're saying, but I don't necessarily agree. Like, I agree they could have did more things. Like, maybe they could have like set down screens, ran guys off screens to like get them open shots. But like, the thing that I was worried about with Purdue and like why I picked them to lose to Tennessee specifically, I thought that team's not very multiple at all. So like, it showed like very well in this game. Like, if you take away the other guys, like in Lezak, Edey, like, you can beat them definitely. And Tennessee didn't do that, and that's why they lost the game. But like in this game specifically, those other guys are not just going to cook. Like, they not, like, that's not their game,
Nope.
Like, their game is like, throw the ball into Edey, and he's been taking there all year. Like, you throw the ball into Edey. Every single player, most players are like, put Edey in the ball screen action, like things like that. Those other guys, in terms of like getting there wrong, no. And
that's exactly what I was going to say.
It definitely showed this game. Like, that's why they didn't shoot threes. Like, they were Zach Edey's one-on-one. You're going to throw the ball into him because you've been doing it all year. So it's hard to ask someone to kind of change their identity up in the last week of the season, the last game of the season. Like, so.
Well, I hope you're not saying I was telling them to do that, because you're exactly right. That is their identity, spotting up for the most part. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they got the point guard that's
Smith.
He's okay for the college level or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he missed shots as well that, some timely buckets that could have helped him play the game.
He's like the only other guy who can do a little something, but he's not that good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, I didn't think
he's not that good. All in all,
I didn't think they matched up well.
No, definitely not on the perimeter. Definitely not.
Few games. Like, I was shocked they beat Tennessee. Honestly, like, I did not think that was going to happen with the way Tennessee can score the ball. Like, I was shocked, but they it was
irresponsible by you. I'm not gonna hold you. That was irresponsible.
I mean, they let Connect get off too. Is the crazy part.
That happens. That definitely happens. He's
other guys,
a very good player.
They didn't shoot that well that game, but
it takes a lot. But like we're saying, if you're able to take away their perimeter game to that extent, they made 1 3-pointer the entire night. Like, you're not gonna win that game. I'm sorry, you're not gonna win that game with that personnel. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Let me move on, guys, so we can get through this because we actually have a lot more slides, a lot more to cover here. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Buck star, had to sit down. Looks very crazy in the face. He's like, "Ooh, no contact injury." All right, so the Bucks, after an MRI, they're calling it a calf strain. But many people are concerned about the Bucks star MVP candidate, Giannis Antetokounmpo, is ruled out for the remainder of the season. What is your level of concern when it comes to the Bucks and especially Giannis' health?
10.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
10, bro. Go ahead, Ian. You go.
All right. I just think it's very important that he's there, especially for the first round. Like I think they really need him for the first round. Because I feel like it's like the AC is gonna be a pretty okay team. Like they might take him 6-7 games.
I think it'd be the 7th if they finish 2, right?
Yeah, they're finished 2, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they're gonna face a okay team. They're gonna need him to be in there. Hopefully he gets back for the second round if they make it, but I don't know. It's just very scary for the Bucks right now.
Is that y'all real quick? Is that y'all in? Are y'all gonna if y'all win?
Oh no, we're the 6th.
You're 6 right now? Okay.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're the 7th.
No, we're
7.
We're 6.
No, you're tied for you're tied for 6 or whatever
Morgan,
you want to call it.
We are 6. You can look at it.
I did look at it.
Yeah, you're 7, bro.
I looked at it last night, bro. I looked at it last night. Y'all are 7.
I'm telling you, that's wrong. I looked at it all. I
It's
know
wrong.
Look at it. Y'all are tied for 6. Or if the season ended today, y'all would be the 7th seed.
No, we
You're
would
7.
not.
Yes.
We just pulled it up.
I'll show you after.
I just showed you. I mean, Ian, I just showed you.
Wrong. I looked at it last night too. I looked at it and then
He was looking at the Philly thing that they posted on Instagram.
Dude, okay. I'll show you after. Like I looked it up.
Why would the app
Show
be
me
wrong?
now. Like it's right here.
Yeah, so
7.
That's Real Sports too.
Okay.
And Real Sports is actually a good app. That's a good app. But
It definitely is. Shout out to the @Real Sports app.
they're good
Like we know. But anywho, do you have more of a point that you want to make before this nonsense? Like anything else?
I just think that they need him for the rest of the playoffs. They're not making it past the second round without him.
that would be good for you. If y'all finish 7 and you get Giannis Bucks in the first round, that would be good.
I would love that matchup.
That's crazy though. They may get the Heat. Man, they're in trouble. Unless they get like the Pacers. They could beat the Pacers without them. But if they get the Heat or the 76ers in the first round and Giannis isn't playing like that, I would say they're on upset alert at least. I don't know if they'll lose, but I'll be worried.
I think Dame could carry them for a little bit. Put up some.
Dame gives you a shot, but like it's upset alert. So like
yeah, it would definitely come down to like
they're
Chris.
playing. Not if they're playing those two teams healthy. I couldn't really see. That'd be very tough. That'd be very tough for Dame and Chris Middleton to. That'd be tough. I don't know about that. Like Julian said, I mean, we saw this with Kevin Durant when he should have beat Kawhi and the Toronto Raptors after that miraculous run in the finals. You know, he had a calf injury before going into that game. Ultimately, we know, you know, he went down. I believe that was an Achilles for him during the finals. So it was very unfortunate. But we're talking about a Giannis Antetokounmpo who's not a finesse guy in any type of way, shape, or fashion. You know, if he's playing at 100%, galloping up and down the court, dunking the ball, playing above the rim. So it's extremely concerning to see.
Oh, I was right. It's a Philly fan page.
It's gotta be. All right. What app is that? Instagram?
Bleacher Report. You see Bleacher Report, right?
Bro, when did that get posted?
33 minutes ago. Bro, just look at the group chat. I sent it in there.
they're wrong. I would just say that they're probably wrong.
Yeah, I don't have to really.
I mean, every other site says they're the 7th seed, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, they're tied for 6. If the season ended today, y'all would be the 7th seed.
It said 7th last night because it wasn't updated, and they updated it this morning. I'm trying to tell you.
We just looked at 2.
And I just looked at
apps.
it too. Okay, I just looked at Bleacher Report, and they posted it. Whatever.
Hey, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Y'all are 6 or 7. You're 6 or 7 with one.
No, we're 6 though. Like I'm straight with 6.
Okay. All right.
6 or 7.
They're 6. Let's just pretend so we can kill you, like so we can move on.
Yeah, just pretend. Thank you.
Yeah, let's just pretend. But to y'all's point though, before I move on, I'll just answer the fact, like, yeah, if Giannis can't play for whatever reason in that first round, we saw how it was playing the Heat last year, where he was, I guess, he was hobbled in some of those games, dealing with a lower back injury. If he can't be there at all, that's trouble for Milwaukee. That's the last thing you want to see, especially with the troubles that they've had as of late. So you don't want to see that. You definitely don't see that. Let me keep going. So I had to add this in today.
Oh wow.
First and foremost, are you not entertained?
It's a good ending.
Yeah.
Those are not playing it. Those are not playing it through though.
Are you not entertained? Bye. I just want to first start off with that guy on the left from Atlanta, Georgia. Fraudulent. He should have went down to the Atlanta Hawks last night. He shouldn't have even made this slide. We sat our starters in the 4th, and we still almost beat the Wolves in Minnesota. He shouldn't have been on the slide, but he's there. So let's talk about it. We have a 3-way tie.
Fraudulent is crazy.
Yep. He's very wild for that. I don't know if I can forgive him, honestly, but we have a 3-way tie in the West because of this. All right. Thunder,
confusing.
Minnesota, and Jokic in Denver. Let's break it down, Julian. I'm here for you, buddy. I'm here for you. Let's see here. So, yeah, we got some games tonight that will help determine this. So, not tonight, Sunday, last games of the season that will help determine this. But in order for Oklahoma City to be the first seed in the West, a few things can happen. So they have to beat Dallas plus Denver wins. Then they will be the first by technicality, right? Win versus Dallas and Minnesota loses, they will win. They'll still be first. Win versus Dallas, Denver and Minnesota win. They can still win. They can still be the first seed. All right. If they lose versus Dallas and Minnesota and Denver lose, then they can be first. All right. So as shown up here, they all have the same record, but by technicalities, tie breaks, that sort of thing. Right. They just have to win their game, honestly, to be on the safe side. That's going to be 3:30 tomorrow, I believe, versus Dallas. In order for Minnesota to be the first in the conference, they have to beat Phoenix Sunday. And either Denver or Oklahoma City has to lose. All right. So if one of those teams lose, then they can be first. Now, if Denver wants to be the first, they obviously have to beat Memphis. It should be pretty light. Even though they did lose to the Spurs last night. So they have to beat Memphis and Oklahoma and Minnesota will both have to lose. Okay. So shout out to the World Wide Web, right? So no team truly controls their destiny. There has to be a lot of things that occur in order for each team to get that first seed. But as we can see here, it looks like Oklahoma City has the quote unquote best shot. But you never know. I don't think they can count on Denver to lose. But Denver,
I'm praying as a Lakers fan. I'm praying that Oklahoma City gets the first. With where we're sitting at in the conference right now, if Oklahoma City gets the first, I'm good. Like we can go ahead, get into the little 8 spot in the play-in, bounce them boys out first round. Like I'm confident in that.
I would like to see that
It's-
matchup.
or the Timberwolves. I just to see the
Bullshit.
Nuggets in the first round is like I know Morgan says we shouldn't be scared or not, but like we haven't beat them in like 13 games. Like it's like 13
lost
games
to
in a
the
row.
Spurs.
Bro, that doesn't matter, bro.
Bro, they
It's
own
not
y'all.
play out.
Oh, it matters because we wouldn't even be having this discussion right now if it didn't matter. It matters.
I know that. I know it mattered like in standings, but I'm saying like in relation to like what we're gonna in relation to our series with them, I don't know if it matters very much.
One more time, just so we know what's happening tomorrow, though. I mean, Sunday. So the Nuggets play the Grizzlies, the Suns play the Timberwolves, and the Mavericks play the Thunder. All right. So again, every game except that Denver, Memphis, and forgive me, it's a lot going on, so I have to look at this. So Denver does have a shot if Oklahoma and Minnesota both lose that game. Very losable games. It's very possible, depending on who's playing, who's out there, what have you. But very losable games that they have. So it's not safe. Who do y'all think will be the 1 seed at the end of this, though?
I'm
Probably
speaking OKC into existence. I'm just going to speak that into existence. As a Laker, we need that.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that.
The Lakers are what? 9th or 10th right now? We're 8th right now?
Yep. After
confusing.
last night.
Did the Warriors lose last night?
Yes, they did. They lost to the Pelicans, which was very, very, very good for us.
They choked.
Very good.
Yeah, so we're 8th.
Yes,
we're a whole game up. So if we just win that, we're not gonna
that was a major choke for them. We're gonna talk about the play in a little bit, but yeah, that was a major choke for them. So yeah, we'll look at it. But okay, so Drew wants OKC up there. Yeah, I got any preference there? Which y'all think?
Just OKC. I want to see that matchup too in the first round.
I mean, I don't have a preference. I guess it would be cool to see OKC won, especially just watching them go from a complete rebuild to the number 1 seed in like 3 years or something like that. It's pretty incredible. So I think that'll be cool to see.
Yeah, shout out Mike Dagnall. I think he's going to be, I believe he's the coach of the year, in my opinion. Y'all can call it hate, y'all can call it bias, whatever y'all want to call it, but like, I just feel like the Shea rhetoric right now has gone a bit overboard. He's a great player. He actually was my pick for MVP to begin the season before the season even started, so shout out me because I be knowing, but I don't believe he's the MVP. But if he gets the number 1 seed, it's going to be a lot of wild narratives like, oh, I mean, he's the best player on the best team in the West, so he's got to be that's not how it works. That's never how it's worked. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
who would you give it to?
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see that because I'm going to have to argue with a lot of people regarding that. But
you'd rather give it
that's
to
just
Jokic?
me. I don't really care as much as a lot of media is like, Julian, we're not cut from the same cloth. I don't really know what his deal is. I mean, I would call it weakness, but I'm not really sure.
I'm just saying.
I personally, what now?
Who would you pick?
I think I'm an Ant-Man fan. I think people are trying to turn him into something too early. I like to see him develop a bit more. But as a Lakers fan, I'd definitely rather see Minnesota or Denver. People don't want to see arrested Denver. I say, let's get it over with. You know what I mean? Let's try and, punch them in the mouth early, because if we get past Denver, then it's like,
yeah, that's true.
Who's going to stop me?
You're going to have to face them at some point. So.
That's all I'm saying. I'd rather play them first without LeBron James wear and tear, without AD getting poked in the eye or something like that. Like, I'd personally rather see that early. It's just me.
I get what you're saying. I get what you were saying, but like I won't say they're an unbeatable team. I don't think they're a good matchup for the Lakers, number one. But number two, like the teams that they're going to have to play, if they don't play us, are not going to be sweet before we see them. Like if we get on the opposite side as them, at least we'll match up like we did last year in the conference finals. Who even knows if they make it there? And I think that we can beat every other team in the conference. Definitely. Absolutely. I would take us to at least have a shot versus all the other teams in the whole conference. But Denver is the worst matchup. I don't recant my statement of saying I wouldn't want to see them first in the playoffs. It's not a good spot.
You're gonna have to see them anyway, though. Like you might as well.
I'm saying that's not a given. In my opinion, that's not a given, though. Like, yes, they are the best team, but they're gonna have to face someone if we match up on the opposite side of them. Think about all the other teams: Clippers, Mavericks. You can see these two other teams on the top of the screen. I don't think they'll beat them, but Clippers and Mavericks have a shot. Obviously, Suns can give you a shot anytime they play. So,
yeah,
I don't think it's a given.
It could be an estrogen imbalance, from what I'm hearing. Personally, I just feel as if this is a team that we've seen in the playoffs. We have a lot of film of what we did wrong. You know, I'm not shying away from the challenge one bit. And honestly, I don't think LeBron wants to stay on this. I'm just saying. Go out back twice in a row.
We got swept.
I know we did, but that would never happen again.
We got season swept 2 times in a row.
Okay,
it's not good. That's not a good matchup. We can say that. Like, that's okay to say.
I'm not afraid of it though. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, there's this fear in your heart or whatever.
Being afraid and being ideal is 2 different things.
No. But like this fear coming from a dark place in your heart, I don't have that personally. I'm willing to accept the challenge. That's just me. That is just me. We really got to keep moving, man. We really do. Let's see what we got here. So we want to talk. I wanted a little play-in preview because that's what we're gonna have next week. I believe. I want to know who y'all think makes it out. So I got all the teams, all the players in there. You see Embiid. You see Embiid in the front center though, right?
We're the 6th seed though, so
y'all aren't the 6th seed. But anyway,
I'll have to do a deep dive later.
Y'all could in the 6th seed. I mean, y'all are, it's coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
Let's look at that. Actually, that's a good place to start in. So why don't we just look at that? So let's look at Philly's chances. So y'all are currently tied for 6, but if the season were to end today, y'all would obviously be
I'll entertain the 7th spot, whatever.
7. The Pacers, they play the Hawks. Last game of the season, 1 p.m. DeJounte. That's a battle. I mean, these teams have put up some, interesting fights throughout the course of the season. I don't know why Julian looks like that. Like the Pacers are some type of juggernaut that is going to come in and defeat us or something like that. It's really it's baffling to me that he even have that sort of reaction. And you all have Brooklyn the last game of the season. Brooklyn, they just gave the Knicks a fight. Cam Thomas, I think he had a 40 burger, whatever, so y'all gotta handle y'all business. I mean, it's y'all should be favored, whatever, but gotta handle business there. I don't know. Do y'all think? I'll ask you two. Y'all think the Pacers are gonna beat the Hawks?
I think
is everyone playing?
Yeah, that's
actually the caveat, Julian, because Coach Quinn just blew my cap last night. After, like I just got through telling you that we sat our starters the entire 4th quarter. Like we just didn't play them anymore because we're content being the 10th seed. So it's just like I don't know if we actually will play that game seriously.
You can't get to 9, can you?
Might be kaput. He might just be over. Like I don't know.
Can you get to 9?
Yeah, can you get to 9?
Can we? No, we can't.
Wow.
So I mean, nope. I get why he said the starters, or why he would sit the starters, I guess. But I guess the opposite argument to that would be, y'all haven't played together in 2 months, so to go into a
That's
play-in without.
Yeah, that was my argument. Yeah.
To go into a play-in without having, the chemistry with DeJounte and Trey would be. That may be silly. So I would probably play my guys. I would play them.
I like the rest. I like the rest thing part of it. Just because they haven't been healthy the whole year. So I feel like right now they're just trying to make sure that they have their full power when they get to the playoff or to the play-in. Because those are the games that really matter. Like that, these games like
these don't matter.
Continuity, chemistry, like it's cool and all, but like I feel like health is their biggest problem. And at full strength, they're just as good as the Pacers, in my opinion. So we'll see.
Thank you for that. That was nice of you. But we're not gonna be full strength anyway. Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu, they're out for weeks. So we're going in shorthanded anyway. So it's just gonna be interesting for the Hawks. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to dial back all of my Hawks rhetoric because of that fact. It's gonna be tough for us to even get out that play-in at this point. And we're counting on greatness for Trae Young and DeJounte. I think they can get out, but if they do, I don't see us really beating any team that we
should beat the Bulls.
I don't know, Drew. I don't know about that. I think we should. Let me preface by saying I think we should, but if somebody were to argue that the Bulls have a better team than us without, our most improved player, and Onyeka Okongwu, our sixth man, I believe the best backup, center, that's in the league, or at least the East. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. The Bulls have played us tough all year, so anything can happen. Honestly, anything can happen with that. But high hopes I have for this team. I don't see us, doing grand things unless Trae Young brings out the Michael Jordan kit. So yeah, is what it is.
Y'all are definitely eliminated. Like you're topping out at playing the Celtics in the first round. Like that sucks. So
yeah, I mean that's not what we want. Not with this squad. Not with this squad. We can keep it in the East though. So of course the Bulls are the 9th seed, but we got the Heat and the 76ers. So that's gonna be an interesting game. Barring the Pacers lose for whatever reason and y'all win, that's gonna be an interesting game. I mean, do y'all beat the Heat in a play-in situation
at home? I mean, I think the home part definitely plays a big part. We faced them like a couple weeks ago. Same team. I don't know why Julian shaking his head like that. Jimmy
Butler barely beat them at full strength, and they didn't have Hero. I don't believe
we weren't at full strength.
I don't think they had Hero or Rozier, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me.
We weren't at full strength. Tobias wasn't there. D'Anthony Melton wasn't there, and Robert Covington weren't there. I don't know why you're making that smirk, Morgan. But D'Anthony Melton is a very, very key piece to our team, especially defensively. But my point is, I feel like we're way too talented to let that one game slip, especially with Joel back. He's been averaging 30 plus, and Tyrese Maxey hasn't fell off one bit since he's been back. Defense has looked amazing. Shout out Nick Nurse. He's really changed. I know you're sick of it, but it's coming. I just want you to get ready. It's coming. Okay.
What's coming exactly?
Joel, come on, stop playing.
Okay. Joel's the first round. Yeah, you're right.
For sure.
Okay.
I mean, we're just talking about playing right now. Like he's coming. Like, I just want you to be ready.
Okay. Y'all should get out of the play-in. If you don't get out of the play-in, we have to have more conversations.
Okay.
So.
No, I don't think he's ready for that type of conversation. That's going to be a very difficult. It's going to be like pulling teeth. Like that's going to be a very, very difficult conversation to have there. But again, they're either going to see the Bucks or the Celtics, depending on what seed they end up with. So if they do win that game, actually, no, if y'all lose that game for whatever reason as the 8th seed, y'all got to see the Celtics. So I'm just saying. Let's take it to the West though. So We got the Suns in the 7th seed right now. We got the Kings in the 9th. They're on the King. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Suns 7th, Lakers 8th, Kings 9th, Warriors 10th. Kings are only one game behind the Lakers. I'd have to look at that and see if they could eclipse us in any way. I don't know if they could, based on.
I'm pretty sure they have the tiebreaker over us. I think both teams have the tiebreaker over us, the Warriors and the Kings, if I'm not mistaken.
Warriors are cooked. Oh wait, no, I lied. No, they actually are tied for that 9th, 10th with the Kings.
Both of them are tied. Yeah, they're both ridiculous. 1 game back. We have to win. We have
the Pelicans, and of course, Brandon Ingram is gonna suit up for that game on ESPN tomorrow. Just because. And let's see. So the Warriors, they have the Jazz, and the Kings, they have the Trailblazers. So must-win situation. What do y'all think's gonna happen, man?
The Lakers should beat the Pelicans. We have to also, but the Pelicans also need to win. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no. With the win last night, they're in, right? I'm pretty sure they're in to the 6.
Yeah, they're into the. Well, I mean, the Suns are a game behind them.
Okay, so the 5 then.
So I don't know what the tiebreak is.
So they can't make the play-in, though. I'm saying the Pelicans have won their way out of the play-in. Correct? Like they can't make it.
I don't know what they would be tied for that 6-7. The Suns were to win, and the Pelicans were to lose.
Dang.
So I'm not who gets out of that.
Well, either way, but I'll say both teams probably have to win, yeah. But yeah, if we're playing for our lives, the Lakers need to win that game, so we don't end up with the 9th or the 10th seed, because that's not good. So we definitely want to give ourselves one of those top 2 seeds. We can get 2 shots at the play-in.
The Pelicans have looked very good lately. I don't want to have conversations about on plays this way without Brandon Ingram. We do this with every duo, what have you. But they've looked very good. They've shot the ball from 3 very well. Trey Murphy, Jose Alvarado, they're lights out. We've pretty much handled the Pelicans this year, though. I can think of one anomaly where they blew us, but we've matched up pretty well with them. So it's just like we take the game as seriously as we need to take it. No, did. I like us. No, I definitely like us in that. Suns, they need to lose. And I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that though.
I don't want to see the Suns in the play-in is the only thing.
That's what I'm thinking.
As a Lakers fan, I'm saying it as a basketball fan. Like I don't even want the Suns to make the play-in, because that means that we'll probably have that means it'll guarantee that we have a playoff without KD, LeBron, or Curry. So I don't know. Yeah. That sucks. Like one of them's not making it.
Suns made their bed though. I mean, all of that rhetoric y'all were spewing about Brad Beal.
I don't think anyone was high on that. They suck.
Don't. I'll give you a break for saying something as wild as that. But
I'm talking about on the podcast.
I'll just remind you that the rhetoric was this is some type of big 3. They had the 3-headed snake, 3-headed monster, whatever you want to call it, Cerberus. Like that's what this was supposed to be. Nobody envisioned them to be fighting for their play-in lives. Let's just put it that way. But you're right about that. You're definitely right about that. I just think at some point these old head stars, like they're perfect of what comes to them. Like they are, like they made their bed in many different ways. Like some dealt with injuries, some dealt with suspension, some dealt with this, that, and the other. But that's the game. That's all into it. So I don't know. I do not know. What I do know though is the Lakers aren't losing 2 games. That's definitely not that's not occurring. I don't. That's not happening. So,
Hope so.
One of the
I'll be shocked. I'll be
fans
shocked.
or whatever. Like they gotta nut up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Very interesting play and look though. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Now for this one, I'm ill prepared. I just wanted to talk about some of the guys that are declared for the NBA draft. I had a list. Obviously, we got Klingon declaring, Filipkowski, what's his name? McCain going in there. And we got Dillingham, Isaiah Collier. Well, anywho, from your knowledge, just off the top of your head, any of these guys that you know declaring, out of any of these guys, who do you think will have the most immediate impact with their skill set? Let's say that much. Just with their skill set as far as that's concerned.
I think it's gonna be Bronny. Like I said before, you don't even need to be good at like as a basketball player. You just need to find your role. You just need to find your role, okay? You just need to find your role. If he can find his role as a defensive stopper in the league,
it's just like you can't even keep a straight face with that. So it's just like, why would you even say that?
nah, for real. If he can like be good on the defensive end and make 1 or 2 threes per game, he can find his role in the NBA immediately. He's a 6'6" guard who can guard.
Not 6'6".
6'5" guard who can guard.
It's like 6'3", bro. But anyways.
He can guard the 1, 2, 3 position. I think if he does that, he can be pretty good in the NBA.
Bro, I feel like if you were gonna go that way, you should have just said McCain because he does the same thing but better. Dude. Like he's a good 3-point shooter. He's a better scorer. He can play okay. He's not a bad defender. But I mean, the guys on the screen, I think Dillingham will probably be a good pro. I would say he's a bit like volatile because his highs are highs and his lows are low. But I think he has the skill set to be a good pro. Other than that, it's not a good draft class, in my opinion. There's not even a consensus number 1 pick, which is we haven't seen that in a while, or not a consensus top 2. We haven't seen that in a long time, so I don't even know what to expect from this class.
I mean, and this is all premature because once we know what teams have what picks, I think we can see like, okay, the X player can fill X hole if he gets the amount of time, puts the amount of work in, what have you. I like Dillingham. I feel like he could be a busy bones, something like that in the league. To Julian's point, though, I don't. Who's that guy? You know what I mean? Like who's bona fide? Like
I was talking more from the American side. I know that guy Sarr is really good. I just saw Alex Sarr. He declared for the draft, I think yesterday or the day before, and I saw him play 1 game ever, but he was crazy. Like he's crazy. He's he's one of those big European bigs who can shoot and he can dribble. Like he's good.
League loves European bigs these days, so
yeah. But the college guys, I don't know.
It's a bad product, man. Like, I don't know. Like,
this has been like the only year.
Say about it, like
this has been the only year that we've seen there be like no gray American players. Like,
what are you talking about? There hasn't been bad drafts.
Of course, there's been bad drafts, but I'm saying out of college, like projecting. We didn't project them to be bad players until now. This is the first time that I remember we haven't had any young guys from college who were, really high on. I really don't remember the last time this happened.
Worst NBA draft.
it's projection though. Like those guys were obviously very highly projected.
That 2020 draft, I don't remember anyone fly out of there. Like when they canceled March Madness that one year, I don't remember anyone coming coming out of that draft.
I'm sure there was some. I mean, there's been people. Was the Ant-Man in that one? That was Ant-Man.
Ant-Man's terrible. You just y'all just called him trash, or Morgan did.
Wait, what? Who's trash?
I'm pretty sure that was Ant-Man's draft because I was a freshman.
Yeah,
watching Ant-Man play in college, and that was when COVID happened. So,
but he wasn't even fine in college though. Like we're saying, like it wasn't fun to watch him. Like there weren't many good games he was in, bro. He didn't even make the tournament.
He played at Georgia. That's why. But he was fine though. Ant-Man was nice.
He wasn't that fine.
I'm mad I zoned out because what is Ian talking about? Like,
I don't know.
What are you saying?
Ant-Man was very good at college. He was on a bad team.
I was talking about the draft classes, and he brought up Ant-Man out of the draft class I brought up, and I was talking about how when he was in college, it wasn't even like fun to watch.
You're a fool, bro.
They didn't even make it to March. Like they were bad.
The team was.
You bring down the integrity of the podcast when you say stuff like that, though.
Dude,
what are you talking about,
bro? I'm dead. You said this draft class. This draft class had Anthony Edwards, Wiseman.
Wiseman is not. He's not a good pro.
But he was projected to be
Anthony Edwards, Wiseman. Like this class right now, we don't have anyone at least out of college who are like, oh, he's gonna dominate.
Wiseman was in the G League for like.
We thought Wiseman was going to be like that.
I never thought Wiseman was going to be 5.
That's
your G League the whole year. Like what are you talking about?
Wiseman, LaMelo Ball, Patrick Williams, Okoro, Onyeka Okongwu. Then we had Killian Hayes, obviously. Obi Toppin, Denny Avila, Jalen Smith. Like there's guys, Halliburton, Devin Vassell, Cole Anthony's in this class. Like this was not a bad class at all. Tyrese Maxey's in this class. Achie was in this class.
Well, I'll say this much. Well, I'm remembering the class that you listed out. Projection wise, it was. I think they projected it to be top heavy, but like the point is, this class right here don't even have a top. Like there's no top at all. Like we don't know anything about these guys really, like what they could be. I don't know. Obviously, there's people that analyze, do the analytics, and can tell maybe will end up one way or the other. What was last year's class?
Because
that was Wemby and Scoot out of he was the guy, but he's out of country.
Wemby and Scoot. Scoot's American, but he went. He didn't play college.
Yeah, he didn't play college. And of course, Keegan Murray was in it. He was
what's his face from Bama? Brandon Miller. He was dominant.
Yeah, Brandon Miller was good. He was nice. So I mean, that was even better in my opinion than what we have going on here. But,
much better, bro. Much better. Unfortunately, last year a lot of those guys went to the G League. Like the Thompson brothers, both G League. Scoot was G League. So yeah, but Jarris Walker was at Houston. Lively was at Duke.
Casey Wallace has been good.
Yeah, Casey Wallace.
He's been good. Yeah.
Grady Dick, Kansas. Hawkes.
He's a little better. Hawkes, yeah.
The rest of the draft is pretty good, but it's too early to,
It's I may have tried that class actually. I mean, I think there's some definitely and we didn't even mention like a Podemski that was down there that was in that class. There's been some guys that have made some nice impacts on team, I feel. So
yeah, this is crazy, bro. I just looked at the mock draft. And Stephon Castle, the UConn guard, he may probably be a good pro, but he's number 2.
Number 2
in the mock draft. It's just a mock draft, so I don't know, how true this is.
Where do y'all think Bronny will go if he even gets drafted?
Bronny's not.
You won't let Bronny go, will you?
I'm just asking. It's just a question.
Maybe late. This draft is weird, so I don't know, but he would probably go second round. I think.
You don't think
he go Burger King commercial? Like, bro. We have to be honest.
He would get picked because he's LeBron's son.
That's exactly. That's
not enough to
that.
Second round.
This notion
Someone's
that
taking a
folks
second round
care,
flyer.
bro.
Someone will
This
take a
notion
second
that
round flyer.
folks care just because you get a verbal, "Oh, I'd like to play with my son" from LeBron, like that's not enough to draft the kid.
No. That part I don't even care about that part, but I'm saying just off the fact that he's LeBron's kid, like despite the fact that like LeBron said he wanted to play with this kid, that's obviously like, you know, that's gonna boost the team to go draft him. But throw that out. Being LeBron James' kid, like your name brand, the money, like someone's gonna take a second round flyer on him. Ticket sales are gonna go up. Like it makes sense to draft him second round.
And if I feel like lots of GMs and teams,
60 picks,
and even fans, like they look at it wrong. You're not supposed to draft a player because he's good. You're supposed to draft him because of your needs. Like,
yeah, that's how you're gonna project to college. I mean, to the pros.
Yeah,
and like I've been seeing like the Clutch Sports media pumping out pro Bronny propaganda recently. Like I saw Draymond, Kendrick Perkins, like all these guys get on TV and say, you know, he's gonna be a better pro than he is college player. But I don't know, bro.
None of these guys are in the front office. They're not.
Bro,
I don't know.
If you can find your role, though, you don't think that's necessarily true?
No, absolutely. He could be a 3-and-D guy probably, but
that's but that's
round.
the ceiling as he is today.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Second round.
Like if you're getting the best version of Bronny today, that's 3-and-D guy, maybe 10 minutes a game, you know, come and get there to mix it up, I guess. Like damn,
Like-
y'all don't understand. We're talking about the pick is international. You know what I'm saying? We're taking players from all over the world, different leagues. You know, we got the G League. We got people in overtime that can play 3-and-D. You can find a 3-and-D on a couch. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Not
have
with
to.
that athleticism. Not with that athleticism.
For example, like a guy from my school, George, Keyshawn George, he's a freshman from France. He's like 6'9", wing. He can shoot. Like I think he probably shot around 40% from three. He can handle the ball, score all three levels. He's projected 26. So if he's projected 26, it's going to be in the draft for Bronny, I would say, because this guy's 19 or 18, and he's like 6'8" or 9, and he grew 2 inches since he got to Miami. So,
But that's all I'm saying. I just
26.
and you know maybe it's me being a bad podcaster or whatever. I don't know all of these other guys from overseas and different leagues that are gonna probably declare for the draft or whatever. But I can tell you there's guys out there.
Sarr declared for the draft, and he's probably going first. And then this guy Topic from Serbia.
Topic is declaring?
Yeah, Nikola Topic. He's declaring.
I'm there.
I think. So he's in the top 5 probably too. And then they have Dalton Connect, which is crazy. Like he's a senior. He's a dog though. Dalton Connect can hoop, but he's a senior. You would rarely see that in the first 5 picks. It's crazy.
I look for him to be a decent player in the league for a long time though. Like
Dalton Connect can hoop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and he can shoot the ball. Like, if he turns himself into, you know, one of those 40%ers from 3, and he'll have a job for a long time as it stands right now. He'll have a job. Man. Yeah, exactly. That stuff that that scoring stuff doesn't always translate though. Like, you have to be able to if he can stretch the floor, he'll be fine. You know, he will be fine. Anything else on the draft front? Please don't say anything else about Bronny. Like I don't. I think
that was a crazy pick by you though. You could have picked like Collier. Like you've seen Collier play. Who's better than Bronny? Same age. Like come on. Bro.
All I said was role. Like I think he can fit in the role. I don't think that's that crazy. Like I feel like literally I feel like everyone in the draft is skilled enough to make their own role. Like it's just
shout out to you. Shout out to you because you should be on Clutch Sports payroll too.
I bet.
It's just, you just need the right coach and the right system for every kind of player. Some players you don't, but some players you do. And I feel like if he gets the right system and the right coach, he'll be fine.
Let me just make one last point. I know I shouldn't, but y'all have to understand that people's jobs and livelihood be on the line when they suggest these types of picks. You know what I'm saying? Like your credibility will go down if you just say, oh, you know, I mean, it's LeBron's son, so What if he eats his Wheaties, grows to 6'8", because of the you're going to take somebody with more upside, more known upside. It is a safer pick than a Bronny James just because,
safer.
Of what? He's LeBron's son and he's, shown he's okay. Like, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing when you're picking.
What makes the picks more safer, dude? You understand, like 80% of picks are a risk. Like you're taking a risk. Like most of these teams don't know what these players are gonna be, right? Like
calculated risks. It's not
even
adding.
true.
It doesn't add up.
Not even true. Some people are drafted on literally just flyers, just their size or their athleticism or their 3-point shooting. That's true. Like people aren't just elite. Like they're.
I have to stop you there. Because it's going into a place that makes zero sense. These players are scouted thoroughly before they ever even get a team's attention. All right, so let's just put that out there. There's also an NBA combine as well that some players do attend. You know exactly who you are drafting before draft night comes up. It doesn't matter about hearsay. It doesn't matter about whose tape is the best. Unless somebody lays eyes on you and says, okay, this player has X upside. We've seen this from, an X draft in the past, whatever. You're not getting picked up. You're not. I'm sorry. I'd say fine.
So you don't think players are picked up based on their upside?
They are, but it's calculated risk is all I'm trying to say.
Right,
it's not just off of name value. We don't have enough tape on Bronny to even say he's an NBA player. We do not.
You can say that for a lot of people who were picked and calculated and scouted, but I mean, like there are a lot of one and done players, dude. That don't have a lot of film.
The only reason that you're saying this is because he's Bronson. Like, that's true.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I just want to. I want to see the narrative. I want to see how.
What are we talking about? Like, and if the argument truly is, it really boils down to the fact that you're just drafting off a name. I'm telling you that I don't believe that's going to happen. He's going to have to prove that he can play in that league, period.
So does everyone else in the draft.
But they actually logged in 30 minutes a night in college. They actually put in work in pro leagues in Serbia, Czechoslovakia, in Russia, what have you. Actually put in time in overtime elite. And there have been scouts that have seen that. They put in that work. Bronny is not. I'm gonna just leave it there. That's it.
The only thing about Bronny is I don't think that he declared for no reason. Like, I know that people were saying like you would keep your eligibility and stuff if you don't get agent. I personally don't think that he declared for no reason. So
he wants to test the waters, get into those NBA gyms in front of NBA scouts because he didn't log a lot of minutes in college. This is for him. This is a chance for him to show one-on-one exactly what he's capable of so that they know. I don't think he's actually going to the league this year. I think that would be I
hope not. But
I hope not as well. I think that'd be premature. I got a notification saying LeBron has no, takes of Bronny's decision. It's Bronny's decision that what he does. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Let's go ahead and end it off, guys. Been sitting down too long. Any last words here? All right. At Take 5 Pod, make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X. Shout out to Perfection, Jason Moncure for winning the March Madness Bracket Challenge. And we will see y'all next week. Stay tuned. All right.